Hey guys, welcome back to another empowering technology tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be working inside of Photoshop Creative Cloud. If you have Photoshop CS6, CS5, whatever version of Photoshop you have, actually let me back up a little bit. This is not going to work the same way. I don't believe that they have the adjustment layers. I know if you have Photoshop CS6 and maybe CS5, you'll be okay. So I'm going to show you guys how to achieve this effect. And we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to delete these layers that I already have so I can walk you through the process. So first of all, you're going to need a photo. You can go on Google. Maybe you have one already that you want to mess around with, play with, whatnot. Get your photo into Photoshop. You'll go to File, Open, pick whatever photo you want to use, bring it in. And the first thing I like to do is make a copy of my whatever photo I'm going to be working with. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can drag it down to this icon, the new layer icon. It'll make a copy, or you can just simply Control J and make a copy of your layer. Command J if you're working on a Mac. And then the next thing I like to do is lock this layer down and turn off the visibility. This is just in case I make a mistake or I just totally mess stuff up. I still have a copy of the original layer. The second thing we need to do is desaturate this photo. Now you could go to Image, Adjustments, Desaturate, and that's just going to completely desaturate the photo. You're not going to be able to make any adjustments to it afterwards. It's going to turn it black and white, and that's the end of the story. So myself, I like to use adjustment layers, and they are right here in this area. And if you're not seeing them, you can always go to Window and Adjustments, click on that, and it'll bring up that whatever that area for you. So we're going to use the Hue and Saturation adjustment layer, and we're going to clip it to this layer. That way it only affects this layer. And I know it doesn't really matter in this tutorial, but if you're working with multiple pictures or multiple objects or whatever you want to call it, and you don't want this effect to affect everything, this is a good habit to get into. Click on this button, it'll clip it to the layer that's underneath of it, and it will only affect that layer. So we're just going to simply drag the saturation all the way down. And we could lighten this up a little bit too if we wanted to, but I think we're just going to leave it right where it's at. You could also darken it, but for this tutorial I think we want to leave it right where it's at. And then we're going to add one more adjustment layer. We're going to go to Selective Color. We're going to clip it also, and we're going to select the whites because that's the only color that we want to affect. And we really only have white, black, and gray to begin with, so the whites are what we want to add an effect to, and we want to drag the cyan up a little to right around 55. I think looks pretty good. And then you could even take the yellow and bring it down a little bit just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. And there you have it. That's pretty much it. That is a color splash effect, only using 2 adjustment layers and your base photograph. Pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty easy. I haven't made a Photoshop tutorial in quite some time. I want to get back into making Photoshop tutorials, and I figured I would kick it off with this one. So if this helped you out in any way, please give it a quick thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Real quick too, let me show you, if you're a very base beginner, you don't know how to save this or use it, you'll go to File, Save for Web, and as you can see, the image size to begin with is 4000 by 3000. That's way too big. You don't need to display an image that big anywhere on the web. I would simply come over here to where it says percent, or if you already know what size you want to use, you could just enter it in here. But this way we keep the whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I think 15% would work. Brings it down to about 600 by 450, and it's still kind of a big photo, but it's not nearly as big as 3000 by 4000, where if you're using this, like, let's say on your website, it's going to drastically slow down your page load time, especially if you have multiple images of that size. And you could even make it, you could even go a little bit smaller, like 10%, and there you go. That would be perfect for like Facebook, Twitter, whatever, your website. So again, like I said, one more thing too. The other good thing about doing it like this is it doesn't actually affect this photo. You're not really resizing it. You're just saving it at a certain size. So there you have it. Color splash photo. Again, like I said, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel and give this tutorial a quick thumbs up. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in my upcoming tutorials. Thanks, guys.